As home labbers, all of us need a networking switch that's so good that it powers, it gives internet to all of your devices. And that's literally what I'm going to talk about in this video. I will send this network switch right here that is facing back like it's upset with me or something, but I'll talk exactly what I mean by that. I already have this network switch right here, which is pretty inexpensive, and this one, which is really expensive. So why do I need this network switch? Let's find out. Before I start, I want to mention I did not buy this network switch. They have not seen this video. Everything in this video are my honest thoughts. Here's what I have connected. The first port comes straight from the network switch. The next one goes to the PlayStation, then to my docking station actually on my main computer. So it gives internet to docking station. Then I plug my work computer and my personal computer. And this last one goes to the 3D printer. So I have my 3D printer hardwired into the network switch. Now these two SFP ports, I have not configured them. I have not plugged in these screws. They gave magnets, don't even make sense on a network switch. There is a reason why products, especially technology like this, not metal. For the most part, a MacBook is metal. That makes sense. Your iPhone is glass and metal. Those are high quality and won't shock you. But technology like this is the reason why most of these are not all metal. Let's this network switch. That's a $200 network switch. All of these computers, they're all plastic. That may be a quality thing too. Some companies just make stuff with plastic. This feels almost high quality, but the issue with products like these, they make it metal. Metal is good, but the metal stuff only feels premium when it has weight. This is very light. Light stuff does not feel premium, even if it's metal or plastic. Felt this UniFi network switch, it's all plastic, but heavy and dense. It has PoE switches, so it gives power, but this network switch does not. So I guess the power issue comes from there. But still, like the heavy and the metal, both combined actually make all of the difference in making something feel premium. This almost does, but not really. Let's try putting these screws at 4. So let's try putting one on here. And not too hard to screw these in. Extras in case you lose them. I don't know how you would lose them though. If you put them on a network switch, and network switches are meant to be left alone, so I don't get why there's 4. If they only sent me 1, I would be more upset than them sending me more than I need. So I guess I shouldn't be confronted. Let's try this. Are they expecting me to take the screws off here and then put more? I don't understand. I guess that would be for grounding. All right, let's try to stick this somewhere. I'm just gonna walk to the kitchen in front of my fridge. The feet are on the bottom. It sticks. Do you really want your network switch on your refrigerator? I don't know if I want it on my refrigerator. It sticks pretty well. It still has that rocky feeling. I guess if I take the screws off, then I could probably plug or put all 4 of the feet. Actually, let me try that. I don't know if I need to take that from both sides or just one side. Oh, I just lost a screw. Leave magnetic, that's fine. As I take the screws out, the magnetic feet that it gives you actually catches these screws. That's a positive of this. All right, I'm gonna do what you're not supposed to do. Take the screw off right under the sticker. I guess I'm not getting my warranty back. Let's test over here. Take the bottom feet off. I'll try to screw this in. It's just hard to get the screw in. So you have to take screws off to put these magnetic feet on. I'm gonna move the ones right here that we put in the middle to the top. I'll put the screws back. I don't think there's any structural issue. It would make sense if you wanted to mount this on a thin rail. You wouldn't want it sticking out like this, just right in the middle. Maybe that's why they gave those, but I haven't found a use case. The feet seem to be sticking on. Let's try the fridge again. First it was wobbly. Let's see how it does. It sticks really well. That thing won't come off. It sticks to your fridge. All right, the magnets on this. Are these magnets even worth it? If you have a server rack like this, it's made of aluminum. The build quality is great, but it's all aluminum. Aluminum does not have magnetic capabilities. This has magnets. This will not stick to it. There is no use case for the magnets on this, other than if you actually have a big server rack that has the metal that you can stick in, like you have some steel rack or something. If you have those, why would you have a small network switch like this? Other than the fact that, let's say you are getting 10 gig networking and you want to get internet into your server rack and you want this one intake port, maybe that could be a solution. I don't have a server rack that big, but even if I did, UniFi makes these giant network switches that get internet in at even like 40 gigabytes. Why would you want something this small magnetically attached to the side of your rack. That does not make any sense to me. Look at their website. This is the exact networks that we're looking at right now. Go through the pictures. They show the magnets right here. Okay, that magnet's great. There seem to be a selling point. That makes sense. But if you look at one picture where they show the use of magnets, here, there's nothing connected to it. It's just stuck right next to a giant server rack where you already will have some network switches. Why there's nothing connected to it? Why is this here? They had extra magnet screws lying around. It shows you can remove the bottom screws, attach the magnetic. I figured that out, but it doesn't make sense. We just don't need that. It says Wi-Fi 6 router, 4K video, 5. That's just outcomes of a faster internet. For $50, for 10 gig SFP plus and 2.5 gig base port, I don't know if this is the best deal. If you really care about metal casing, especially for your network switches, this seems really good. Like the metal's good. Somehow you have a very specific use case where you do want these SFP plus ports, just magnetically attach it to your server rack because you wouldn't want to use a whole U space and just mount this to the side. Maybe this makes a lot of sense. Don't get me wrong, this is a perfectly fine network switch. I haven't done testing on the actual speeds. Outside of the SFP plus ports, I've tested the other ports and they work just fine. They give me full gigabit speeds and I don't have complaints with the thing that they say will work. Let's talk about the SFP plus ports. For a home lab my size, I haven't found a use case where I would need SFP ports. If I had a router or internet coming in that was 10 gigs, that would make sense, but I haven't seen internet coming to just residential apartments that are 10 gigs. I can't figure out a way to upgrade my network from 1 gig to 10. And for the most part, I haven't even felt the need to even need more than a gigabyte of speed on my internet. Maybe there could be a use case like transferring files from my NAS. 2.5 gig works. I think there's a 40 Ethernet cable they need to fix, a gigabit, or maybe some adapter. Well, after shooting this video on my iPhone on a Blackmagic camera app, that syncs directly to the NAS. The NAS is fast enough to get all that footage over Wi-Fi. I don't need faster than a gigabit on my devices. If I was like doing some crazy networking or like hosting websites that was getting like crazy amounts of traffic, that would make a whole lot of sense. But right now, that just does not. For $50, I don't even know what SFP means. I have not used SFP ever. I've seen those SFP jacks that are like 40 gigs, 10 gigs. I've seen a bunch of different speeds. There's like different types and you need to match them. I don't know how all of that works. You can even get a Ethernet adapter, like a normal RJ45 adapter from an SFP to a Ethernet adapter. But if I'm already doing that, the network switch I have from Netgear in my server rack costed me $18. This one, $50. $50 unmanaged versus a Netgear network switch for $18 with more ports. Granted, you are still getting 1 gigabit speeds, but 1 gigabit is well enough for most aspects of things you're doing. The magnetic feed, the screws that screw in with magnets is just a gimmick. Honestly, no real use case for people like me. If you're in a giant data center with big server racks, you can board a network switch that can get faster internet in. I have a network switch from UniFi where all the internet comes in, connected to this Netgear, which was $16, has 8 ports, 7 actually if you count the ones that go out. A lot of them are connected to the Raspberry Pis, so it works, but I didn't want to use up all of the ports on this device. So this network switch actually makes up for a pretty good device that gives internet to personal devices. If you remember from my last video where I talked about creating VLANs on the UniFi network, one of the Ethernet ports on the network switch runs and gives this network switch internet. This will have all my personal devices connected, no servers. So this will power the PlayStation, my main computer, my Prusa Core 1 3D printer, all the personal devices on the right side of my office. It makes sense that this is the only device that needs one Ethernet connection from the UniFi network switch, and then it gives internet to all other devices. The actual stuff that I use this for, back into it. One of the things that definitely annoys me is a lot of times the power cord for the network switch is in the front. I love the setup of the Netgear and UniFi power cords should be at the back. I don't see a reason for it to be in the front. What I just said about having a power cable at the back, the only advantage of not having that in the back is all of these are going to be together. So I can just tug it back here. Maybe that's an advantage. I turned this back and I forgot to give it internet from the network switch. all good. No work. No. My NAS only supports 2.5 gigs, but the SFP ports can do up to 10 gigs. A great upgrade in the future could be I upgrade my networking to 10 gigs NAS to my Mac directly and get 10 gigs. I don't think my Mac can do 10 gigs. 2.5 maybe the max. I can't think of scenarios where I'll need 10 gigs. Maybe one day in the future when I have 10 gig internet and my UniFi setup can get 10 gigs, I would have to buy new gear. 10 gigs seems overkill. 2.5 gigs seems reasonable and the UniFi setup already does that. There's no reason to do anything outside of 2.5 gigs. It's 2025. I think everything 2.5 gig just seems to work, especially anything for a home setup. Even if you're into home labbing, nothing seems to go over 2.5 gigs. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, like what do you use your setup for? If it's above 2.5 gigs, what are your use cases? Are you using full 10 gigs if you have a 10 gig setup? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you learned something new. Until next time, peace.